Hey, welcome into week three NWGA football Pickem show. Brooks, Benton, and I will be running down all the games from the local area this week. Special shout out to our sponsor, Al Smith, Alpha Insurance, for bringing all these shows to you this year. Guys, what's up?
Nothing much. Week three, it'll be over before you know it. That's what stinks. Once you get it going, it's like a whirlwind.
Yeah, it's crazy. Kind of felt like we were counting down all summer. All of a sudden, we're already like, you know, 3 weeks into the season, already starting region play in some regions. So it's definitely going by quickly, and that's not what we want.
Not at all. And on the bright side, man, I saw the weather forecast for Friday. Supposed to be 95 degrees, but hey, next Friday, 71. Turning
Oh,
football weather.
We need it.
maybe eventually. All right,
All
you
right,
want to
man.
jump into the games this week?
Yeah, we got a huge slate, man. We'll get to them, and like I said, we'll give you our best analysis.
Oops.
All righty, man.
Let's go with that.
We'll start with the large schools at the top, work our way down to the small schools. Brooks actually taught me those words this week, large and small. I usually call them big and little, but I guess large and small sounds more politically correct. Big one right at the top. Rome at Carrollton. Carrollton a 17-point favorite.
I am going with the emotional favorite here. I'm going to go Rome in an upset. I think that there's been. I think they're going to be eager to get out on the field. Everything. I think Carrollton is probably a better overall football team, but I just think everything that Rome's had going on, I think this is just a recipe for them to come out and pull a big upset. So I'm going upset of the week right off the top here.
Yes, sir. Hey, that's a big one. That would be a big upset, I think. I mean, Rome's got the talent to get it done. I think Rome's a very good team. It's just right now Carrollton's kind of been rolling, so we'll see. But I would go with Carrollton and a fairly close one, less than 17 points.
Yeah, I think it's hard to really judge Rome right now, man. We saw what they did in the scrimmage against Rockmart. Had that terrible bus crash. I hope everybody's back to 100%. Going to Carrollton in front of that huge crowd. Carrollton with a couple of games under their belt already. I'm gonna go with the Trojans by about 17. Paulding County at East Paulding. East Paulding 35-point favorite.
Yeah, in my book, I'm going to go East Paulding in this one. I think they get the pretty easy win over their neighbor there, in Paulding County.
I would agree with that. I think Paulding County's got some talent, but not nearly as much as East Paulding's got. I like East Paulding, but maybe not by 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm heading to that game Friday night, man. I'm curious to see quarterback for East Paulding, Chance Bownight, had a huge first week against North Paulding, 5 touchdowns. I like East Paulding. Harrison at North Paulding. North Paulding is a 9-point favorite.
Yeah, I think Harrison has got a decent team coming to North Paulding. I think that's what's going to give them the edge at home. I think it'll be less than 9, but I think North Paulding does get the win in this one.
I would agree. I'll go North Paulding in this one. I think Harrison. I think I actually was just looking at Harrison's page online today. I think they were 7-4 last year. They were a playoff team. So you know what? They're going to be a quality opponent. They typically are, but I like North Paulding at home in this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go North Paulding also at -9. I think they just ran into a tough East Paulding team last Friday night. Hateville, I think they're the number 15th ranked team in 2A at Cartersville. Cartersville, a 35-point favorite.
Yeah, and that spread there, that gives you an example of the difference between a good team in 2A and a really good team in 5A there. I think Cartersville will get it done fairly easily.
Yeah, I like Cartersville big here. They've been playing, lot of focus will usually go on their offense, and they usually do put up a lot of big numbers. But this defense has been pretty lights out so far this season. I expect that to continue this Friday night.
Yeah, I agree, man. The Canes are rolling right now. Probably one of the teams in our area that has a chance to win a state title. I like the Canes. Central Lions, 14-point favorites at Hiram.
Yeah, I like Central to win this one on the road. I think this could be a high scoring game. I think this could be somewhat similar to what you saw, Central last week. Both teams up in the 30s. I like Central to get the win. Just too much talent. John is Walton.
I agree. I think this could be a high scoring game. We saw Hiram put up 48 points a couple of weeks ago in their opener against Paulding County. We've seen Central put up big numbers offensively so far this year. Would like to see a little more defense from them. I know they've played a potent offense last week against Oxford over in Alabama, but I think this could be this could have a Big 12 feel to it. I think Central wins, but is it old school Big 12 now? I mean, what do they got? Like 18 teams in the conference?
Who knows?
Anyways, yeah, I don't even know if that reference holds up anymore. But I'll go Central, and I think this game's going to be in the into the 40s or 30s.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Lions. J.R. Harris, Jonas Walton. I mean, those guys can put up some points. Lions by a couple of touchdowns at Hiram. Daresville at Cass, Battle of the Unbeatens. Cass is a 35-point favorite.
Yeah, on the road against this Cass team, I think Cass just going to put up one too many points. I think Daresville might hang around there for a while, but I think Cass will pull away, and Cass will get about 2 touchdown win probably in the end.
I like Cass at home, but I think a 35-point spread is far too large for sure. I think this a Daresville team has got some firepower themselves, but Ethan Long, he had a really great game last week for Daresville. Their offense is going to continue to get better every week, but I mean, I feel like Cass running into them right now is like running into a buzzsaw. This team is really talented. They've got a lot of seniors, and I just think they're going to be tough to beat any week. I mean, even into region play. I can't wait to see what the battle. They called this on Twitter, Cass Football Dead, the Battle of Bartow County, Part 1. I'm assuming I can't wait for Part 2, which will be Cass and Cartersville.
Yeah, this game's like Georgia Tech, Auburn, Alabama. You can throw the records, you can throw the size of the school out. I've been to this game a couple of times over the last few years, man. Hard hitting. Going to be a packed house. Cass is just on a different level right now. I like Cass by less than the 35. Cedartown on the road at Alexander. Cedartown a 35-point favorite.
I think you might see this one stay close for a little while as well. But Cedartown is just kind of like that boa constrictor. They just kind of squeeze you, and then before you know it, Cedartown's jumped out to a lead. Get Tay Harris and the boys in the game, and get them going. I think Cedartown's score way too much for Alexander. I'll take Cedartown by 21.
I like Cedartown in this one as well, and this is a chance for them to get some of those kind of non-region bonus points, or what, if you will. Or actually, I guess they don't have power rankings, do they? Up in 4A. I keep forgetting. It's honestly hard to keep up with. But anyways, no, I think they'll knock down a 5A team in this one, and they'll do it comfortably.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bulldogs big at Alexander. I saw a neat stat last night. Tay Harris, 12 touches on offense for the season, 4 touchdowns. Clemson's getting a good one next year. Dalton at Northwest Whitfield. Dalton is a 1-point favorite.
It's kind of odd to me. I think the computers still haven't quite synced up yet, but I'm going to take Northwest. Gavin Knuckles and the guys they're going to be too much for Dalton. I think it'll probably be by a couple touchdowns.
I said it on the show last Friday night. This is a game I'm all too familiar with. I've played in this game myself. Northwest has not beaten Dalton in 20 years. 2004 was the last time Northwest beat them. Caleb Callahan, who went on to play at Troy, was the quarterback for Northwest Whitfield then. I think they do it. I think for the first time in 2 decades, Northwest Whitfield beats them, because if they can't do it Friday night, I don't know when they will. So I'm taking the Bruins.
Yep, and I will make it a trifecta. I really like the Bruins this year, man. I like what they got going with Knuckles. Great wide receiver group. Good on defense. I think they get it done. Southeast Whitfield at Murray County. Murray County is 11-point favorite.
Boy, I'm back and forth in this game. Go ahead, Brooks.
I think this is the best chance for either team to get a win all season. Southeast has not scored a point yet this year. Murray has looked a little more competent on offense to this point in the year. They have the game at home. I like Murray to win this one, but it should be a pretty tight battle.
Yeah, I think it's going to be extremely tight. I think it's going to be, who's able to hold on to the ball, who's able to, grind out the first downs. I think this could be a 7-6, 12-6, 12-7, something like that game. I think I'm going to go with Murray at home. I think the home field advantage is just kind of the tipping point for me.
Yeah, it's my upset pick of the week. Both teams have had trouble scoring this year. Both teams have having trouble keeping people off the scoreboard. We could see a 7-6 game, or we could see a 63-62 game. I think it's going to be a shootout. I like Southeast Whitfield. I liked them when I saw them last year up there when we went and watched them in the spring. I think they have just enough to get it done at Murray County. East Jackson, 9-point favorites at Dawson County.
Yeah. I haven't seen a lot on East Jackson. I did see some scores. I think Dawson County is still looking for themselves a little bit. I like East Jackson in a close one, even though it's at Dawson.
I went with Dawson County in an upset last week. I got burned on that one. It was their season opener, but I'm hoping maybe they'll lick their wounds and get back with them. I'm gonna roll with them for a second week in a row. I like Dawson County in this one.
Yeah, I think Dawson County's young. I mean, I think they'll be good going forward, but I like East Jackson on the road. Hart County at Lumpkin. Lumpkin was off last week. 14-point favorite.
I'll take Lumpkin, but closer than 14. I think it's going to be a real close game.
Yeah, I'll go Lumpkin as well. I know my brother used to coach up at Elbert County in Northeast Georgia. Hart County's usually got a pretty talented, hard-nosed group, so I think this will be a tight game. But I'm going to go with Lumpkin County in this one.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Lumpkin County also. They'll rebound this Friday night. Shootout up in the North Georgia mountains. It should be a good one. Gilmer, 4-point favorite at Pickens.
Yeah, I'm gonna label this one, even though it's just 4 points, kind of a cop out. But I'm gonna take the Pickens Dragons and to stay undefeated and continue looking good. I think it could be a close game, but Pickens is used to that. They've managed to win a couple of those so far. So at Pickens. I think I seen where Jasper will probably be flooded with Jeeps this weekend. I think it's the Jeep Fest or whatever. So good luck getting into Jasper this weekend, Gilmer fans. And Dragons, I'll take the Dragons to get another W.
I like Gilmer in this one. I think if you go back and look, last week pitched a shutout against Union County 33-0, and then opened up against a really talented Fannin County team that has, proved to be not just a good team, but a great team so far through the first couple of weeks of the season. Just beat Raven County last week. I think Gilmer's going to be 7-8 win team this year, and I think they pick up a win on the road at Pickens.
Yeah, I think that triple option with Bubba Callahan and group, man, are going to be too much for Pickens. Pickens off to a great start, 2-0. I like Gilmer on the road. White County at Habersham, even.
Not a clue, says I. Anybody else want to take a stab at that one?
I'm gonna go with Habersham. I saw a couple of their young wide receivers this spring at camp, and I think they got a real young, talented group. I think it's a coin flip, but I'll take the home team.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to look at played Stevens County to start the year, who's usually really tough, and then Flowery Branch, which is usually a pretty used to be a tough team. I don't know much about them more recently, but they're 0-2 right now. Habersham Central is, and then I don't know, man. White County played Raven County pretty close. I'm going to lean White County here.
I agree. If I had to choose, I'm going to lean White County on the road in a close one.
Westminster at Calhoun. Calhoun, 2-touchdown favorite.
Yeah, I think at Calhoun probably be a ruckus environment, right on top of the field there. I think Calhoun gets the win, a close one over Westminster.
I like Calhoun in this one. I think Calhoun is extremely motivated to get a win. When was the last? I mean, they're on a 3-game losing streak. If you date back to last season, they finished the year with losses to Dalton and Cass. They haven't won a game since October 13th of last year, and this is a program not used to that happening. So I think they're going to get a win in the column this week.
Yeah, my head says Westminster. My heart says Calhoun. Calhoun battled Creekview tough till about 1:30 in the morning on that rainy Friday night. Had a week off. I'm going to take Calhoun in a close one. Heritage at Ringgold. Ringgold is a 3-point favorite.
Well, I went back and forth on this one, and I like what Heritage brings. I like their ability to throw the ball. Defense is pretty good. And I watched Ringgold play. They could be physical, run the ball with both backs, and then that. Well, I've seen both of their quarterbacks. Their young quarterback, man, he was airing it out. Something tells me that I should take a Heritage on the road, so I'm going to take a Heritage on the road.
I think I like Ringgold in this one. I think I'm not sure. This is just me kind of almost playing it safe here. I don't know. Historically speaking, from the last few years, LFO has not been that good, and it surprised me that Heritage struggled with them. LFO could be considerably better this year, and maybe that's why Heritage struggled with them. But Ringgold has looked really good. I think they played, a really talented Dade County team on the road opening week and went up there and battled toe-to-toe with one of the more physical teams in our area. Handled business in their region opener last week on the road. They're coming home for their first home opener of the season. That place is going to be slam packed. 2-0 teams. I think Ringgold's going to be ready to roll at home.
Yeah, I went to this game last year, man, and they're not lying when they say you need to get there an hour and a half beforehand if you want a parking spot, man. I parked 400 miles away. Great atmosphere. They estimated about 7,000 fans there last year. It's going to be the same thing this year in Ringgold. Man, this is tough. I like the Tigers at home, tough physical team. Yeah, I'm going to roll with Coach Crisp and the Tigers. Dade County looking for their first win on the road at Lafayette. Dade, 17-point favorite.
Yeah, Lafayette jumped out. You said they made some changes and threw for over 250 yards last week against Gordon Lake, from what I hear. Interesting. You would look at Lafayette as a running team. I think they still can run it a little bit. I just think that Dade County's ability to just line up and run it at you, and you're not going to run for many yards against Dade. We've seen that in the last couple games. Ringo really wasn't able to quote unquote run on Dade. Ringo did move the ball through the air, so I think Lafayette can keep it close if they can, duplicate that passing game they had. But I just don't see Dade losing at Lafayette. I'm going to take Dade by a couple touchdowns.
I agree. I think the State County team's too talented and too well coached to start 0-3. They've had 2 games that I won't say should have won, but could have won the first 2 weeks with Ringgold and Tryon. And I think they're going to be really motivated to get a win and get that first win into the win column here in the 2024 season.
Yeah, I saw a neat tweet this week from Coach Poston. He said, if you take Dade County lightly for the rest of the way, you're probably going to be in trouble. They're playing with a chip on their shoulder. I think the boys are going to come out.
He didn't say the end of the tweet.
What was the end?
He said, "We coming.
We coming. We coming." Yeah. I got a feeling they're coming this Friday night. I like Dade County in this one. Darlington on the road at Ridgeland. Darlington, a 23-point favorite.
I think Miles Twyman and Kachesney, I think they get too much talent at Darlington. I think they'll win this one pretty easily at Ridgeland.
This is another set of 0-2 teams looking for their first win of the season this week, and I think Darlington's going to get it done. I'm going to keep believing that Ridgeland's going to win a game this year and break that long skid, but I don't think it's going to happen this week. I like Darlington in this one.
Yeah, I'm going with the Purple Tigers on the road. Cahulla Creek at North Cobb Christian. North Cobb Christian, a 35-point favorite.
Yeah, I'll go out and be the first to tell you that North Cobb's not going to beat Cahulla Creek by 35. I just don't see that happening. They may be able to move the ball and win by a few touchdowns, but I don't think you're going to blow Cahulla out. I like the way they played defense early. I mean, the last game they played against Chattooga, it was 7-0 at halftime. Could have went either way. They drive down. I think they were down 14-0, and they drive down with a chance to bring it within one score, and just had a couple mistakes there. Quick passing game was really good. I mean, the guy's got an arm at Cahulla. Brooks could tell you the guy's name. I don't really remember his name, but he's got a good arm. If he can hook up with a few of those passes, they can make it interesting. But I'll take North Cobb closer than 30.
Waylon Belials is the sophomore's name. Going into his third career start. These are some. I think Cahulla's got to have some early success in this game in order to kind of build some confidence. They haven't scored a point this year, but it doesn't necessarily feel like it. They were able to move the ball pretty well between the 30s last week. They just kind of stalled out when they would get down towards the red zone area. And but yeah, I mean, I think that's the biggest thing for Cahulla this week. Another thing I think that's going to be interesting is this secondary has improved week to week with getting settled in with Coach Shamar Collier, who's the new cornerbacks coach who played at Maryville College. He's doing a really great job with these young secondary, and they're going to get tested this week. It's going to be a totally different ball game than it was last week. Chattooga kind of grounded pound all night. North Cobb Christian's going to try to take the top off the defense a few times. So we got to be ready for that.
Yeah, I hyped up the North Cobb Christian offense all off season, with sophomore sensation Teddy Jarrett. But it's been their defense that stepped up this year, man. Played lights out, only giving up 7 points so far the first 2 weeks. Going to be tough to score on them. I'm going North Cobb Christian. Fannin County, traveling up to Union County. Fannin, a 15-point favorite.
Fannin big.
Yeah, I just don't know what Union's got offensively right now after losing their quarterback for the year. And we know what we've seen out of Fannin so far. They are riding high off a big win. That's the only thing I could see maybe going wrong for them is coming in a little overconfident. having to make a road trip. But I think they're a mature team, and I think they'll handle this one.
Yeah, Fanning got embarrassed in this game last year. I think they lost 50-14 at home. I know that'll be in the back of their minds Friday night. I like Fanning big. Bowden at Bremen, huge game. Bremen a 10-point favorite.
I think both of these teams are very, very good teams, regardless of which way we pick here or which way this game goes. I think both of these teams are going to have an impact in the playoffs in their respective divisions. I think Bremen has enough to hang in there and keep it close. I think I'm going to go with Bowden on the road in a very close one, and I would not be surprised if Bremen wins this game.
So we've got the number 8 team in their classification with Bremen, the number 1 team in their classification with Bowden, the 2-time defending champs. On our Facebook page, Lawrence, what I saw, I posted the undefeated teams to this point in the season, and a Bowden fan said you can go ahead and just mark Bremen off of that because we know they're going to lose this week. So I do like Bowden in this game, but I sure do like how Davis Russell coaches his teams. I think this one's going to be a barn burner. I think it's going to be a very, very tight game.
Yeah, this is a very hard game for me to pick. I battled back and forth with this one all week. I watched both the Bremen scrimmages game. Outstanding defense. I think the key to the game is going to be Caden Prothrow. I think he scores a late touchdown to give Bowden a 7-point win. Going with the Devils.
It's a good name, Prothrow.
Greene County at Haralson County. Greene County a 28-point favorite.
I think Haralson's shown that they're better than what the computers think they are. I think that Greene County is going to get a win, but less than 28.
Yeah, Greene County's 2-0. I think Haralson is rebuilding with a new coach. I think, as Benton mentioned, they're improved over last season, but this is what I would consider to be a rebuilding year for them, and Greene County's off to a pretty hot start so far this year, and I think they'll keep that going and advance to 3-0.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, Greene County has like one of the top defensive lineman prospects in the state. Huge kid. I'm gonna give the edge to Greene County. Heard County, man, making the long trip up to Murphy, North Carolina. Heard looking to go 3-0.
Is this a toss-up game? What's the spread on this?
The computer says 4.5 for Heard.
Okay. I think Heard County just got too many athletes, too much athleticism. They were able to, put 21 on trying earlier in the year. I think Heard gets it done at Murphy.
I think this was one of those games that they added to their schedule because one of the schools in their region dropped football. Is that correct, Lawrence?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, because I know Tryon also, who's is in their region, added a game against the team against North Carolina as well. So, they historically, I remember Murphy is actually in the Chattanooga TV market. For those of you that don't know that, there's about 2 Western North Carolina counties that actually get Chattanooga TV stations. And I remember covering a few North Carolina state championships from my time working in Chattanooga with Channel 3. And Murphy was one of those teams. They're a very, very small town, tough, hard-nosed football team. I think I just saw a comment, though, that their legendary head coach retired, but that's a tough road trip. I think Heard County's probably going to have a little too much athleticism for them, but I almost would equate Murphy to like a Dade County type team. I think they're going to be really physical, up in the mountains, long road trip. Heard County's got to be really mature and handle themselves for this road trip because that in itself could beat you before you even show up.
Yeah, I was up there this summer, man, with our traveling combine with Jake West. Got to meet the coach and the players, man. A bunch of hard-nosed kids, tough, very athletic squad. I don't know much about North Carolina football, but I saw where they lost last week to Franklin by 20 points. Doesn't bode well, man, when you're facing a offensive juggernaut like Heard County. I'm gonna go Heard County by 14. Coosa at Model. Model is a 28-point favorite.
Yeah, I like what Coots has done. I like the new coaching staff. I like kind of the way they've handled business so far. I know they're 1-0 and they're looking for 2, but I think Model uh, little going to be a little too much defensively, and they'll be able to put some points on the board. I like Model uh, probably by about 21.
I like Model. I'll go 28-14 final score here. I like Model by a couple of touchdowns. Little inter-county rivalry here with Coosa. I do think Coosa looked a lot better in their first game under their new head coach, but I like Coach Honeycutt and what he's got going at Model.
Yeah, I've seen on Twitter. I know the Coosa players are riding high after last week's shutout up at Southeast Whitfield. Got a little confidence going in. Model's going to be happy not facing Cass again this Friday night. I like the Blue Devils at home. Very interesting game here. Pepperell at Christian Heritage. Christian Heritage is 11-point favorite.
Yeah, we kind of talked about this one off air. I think Pepperell's one of those teams that can be physical and give Christian Heritage some issues. The biggest question I have, Pepperell secondary, can they hold up against Carter Triplett and the guys throwing the ball down the field? I think they will. I think it'll be a close game. It's at Christian Heritage, but it's really not that super far of a trip. I guess it's not like driving up in the mountains like we were talking about before. You know what? I'm gonna go. Pepperell gets a W this week at Christian Heritage in a close one. Not my upset pick of the week, but I guess it should be since it's a bigger upset than the other one that I picked.
I actually thought about picking Pepperell in this one. I think Pepperell's been close in their first couple of games. I just got to know which Christian Heritage team is going to show up. I think they kind of righted some wrongs from week one. I expected a better performance against Heritage in their season opener, and that they had a little bit of, I don't want to call, which they're coming up in a couple of picks here. Cherokee Christian was a little bit of what I would call a cupcake, if you will, but it was a get right game for them. I think it got some confidence going. And I think that confidence will roll into this week. But I think this game is played within that 11-point number, and I think it's probably about a touchdown game. But I'll take the Lions in this one over the Pepperell Dragons.
Yeah, I think this will be a very entertaining game to get out and watch if you're in that Dawson area, man. Two quarterbacks, Sam Ross, Carter Triplett, that can light up the stat sheet. Carter Triplett, 6 touchdowns last Friday night. I know Sam Ross for Pepperell had over 300 yards week one. I'm gonna go with the Dragons on the road in a very close game. Temple at Tryon. Tryon is a 13-point favorite.
We look at Temple. It's the athleticism they have. C.J. Gray and a couple other guys that they have there. McAllen or something like that. I can't remember the guy's name, but pretty good players. I think it's going to come down to the Tryon passing game and their ability to move the ball through the air. They got about 3 or 4 targets that are tough to stop. I mean, you get Big Stokes out there, Willingham. Can Temple come up and tackle, and can they avoid the big play? I've seen Tryon, score on the big play multiple times, especially against Gordon Lee. You just can't let them get loose, and it seems like you can know that, but they still do. I'm going to take Tryon. I think 13 is probably in the neighborhood, but I'll take Tryon to win this one at home.
Yeah, this is really what I would consider a power versus finesse game. Temple's got a lot of athleticism, and I've been kind of high. I've been high on them really all off season. I think they're going to do have a record-setting year for their program this year. But they're running into one of those kind of real physical Northwest Georgia teams that's up in rural Northwest Georgia, and I just think Tryon expects to win week to week. They've got that mentality, and I think they'll win in this one too.
Yeah, I saw a tweet earlier today from one of the Tryon supporters that said that the Bulldogs have to play a mistake-free game this Friday night, and I agree with that 100%. You can't give Temple too many chances with the athletes they have. It's going to be a great game. I lean Bulldogs here in a close one. Cherokee Christian at Armurchie. Armurchie looking to go 2-0, 1-point favorite.
Yeah, I like the Blue Indians in this one. I think Cherokee Christian got thumped pretty good by Christian Heritage already once this season. I think Armurchie wins in a pretty close one, defensive battle here, but I think Armurchie wins by a touchdown or two.
Yeah, I like Armurchie as well in this one. I didn't really see much that would have given me any confidence to pick Cherokee Christian last week, and I think that'd be a big start to the year for Armurchie to start 2-0, and I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think the defense for the Indians, man, is playing well enough to keep them in a lot of games this year. Blaine Ragland looked good last week at quarterback. I like the Indians at home by a couple of touchdowns. Gordon Central on the road in Josie over in Augusta. Gordon Central, a 2-point favorite. 14-point favorite.
Yeah, I think Gordon Central. We've seen they got the quarterback Sibley that can run around and make some plays. I think he'll make some plays. They'll throw it out to the big receivers they got, and then the defense has been fairly good. I think Gordon Central gets a win in a close one against Josie.
Yeah, I think this is going to be their first. Like they had the home game last week, and it was a pretty tight game from what you told me, Lawrence. For most of the game, they wound up. Maybe the final score was a little deceiving as to how tight the game actually was. Had a close road trip just up. Probably not even 10 minutes away at Southeast to start the year. This is one of those trips where, as a team, Coach Gregory's got to keep his team focused as they travel a long way. I think if they can win this game, get to 2-1, I think that will prove that they not only can win, but they can win when they take long road trips. I like Gordon Central in this one.
Yeah, they hung around with a very talented Butler team, another team from Augusta last week, only down 12-6 at the end of the third quarter. I think Butler on paper is probably more talented than this Josie team. Like I said, the bus ride is the important issue here, how they respond after being on the road for 4 hours. I'm going to take Gordon Central in a close one. And that concludes our week 3 Pickem rundown, man. Hope y'all enjoyed that. Didn't upset too many people tonight. We'll be back on Friday night. Benton will not be with us, but I'll be here. Hopefully, Brooks can stop by.
Yeah, I'll be in my home studio. I won't be driving this week, so I'll have more reliable cell service or Wi-Fi. Actually, not even cell service.
You can take me out of Northwest Georgia, but you can't take the Northwest Georgia out of me. So I know I'll be looking at some scores, and I'll try to comment a little bit. Otherwise, have a great show, and get out and watch a high school game.
Absolutely, man. Games all over the place this week, and we'll see you back Friday night, 11ish.